Well, hi there, I'm Cindy Dole, and this is Home Wizards, all things home, garden, and life improvement, and we are here at one of my favorite places, the world's largest kitchen and bath show known as KBIS, where it really is all kind of showbiz for the kitchen and bath, the new trends, the new innovations, the new must-haves and technologies, and today, my friend and colleague Eric Stromer is here to talk about it with me and to introduce you to all the exciting things that you're going to want to have for your home. So, Eric, great to have you here.
Yeah, and just to kind of set this up for the listeners,
yes.
I'm just kind of thinking about our feet at the end of 3 days of walking the halls.
Yes.
How much, what an expanse this is.
It is, it's
brand
huge.
New products and trends for 2011.
Well, you know, it's too big for the LA Convention Center to hold it. It's
yes,
that big.
That's right. That's why they have to come to beautiful Las Vegas.
They would. Did you see Elvis already?
Elvis and I had a spooning time.
And you jumped out of a helicopter. I saw you guys. So those
that's right.
Flying Elvises.
Yeah.
Well, it's so fun to be here because there's a lot to share, and I think a lot of us, as we are watching the economy slowly improve, we're looking for opportunities in our home that we're staying in to make it feel more luxurious.
That's right.
You know, to make it feel more special, but yet make some smart financial choices.
Right, yeah, and you know, because we're not really moving from our homes and trading one in for a larger home, we're staying where we are, and as a result, I think a lot of these trends reflect that
yeah.
We're kind of staying where we are, and what do we do to make our homes a little nicer? And that's kind of what we're seeing in these trends.
And one of the trends that we're going to be talking about for the next couple of hours is, I mean, who among you has a relative living with you, right?
I can see it coming. My mom keeps kind of nudging me and saying, and like, raising her eyebrows up and down, huh?
Yeah,
you live here,
right? Payback time, right?
Yeah,
but you know, isn't that a nice luxury that you get to do that
it really
to your
is.
sweet parents?
Yes.
But it's a reality, whether it's the economy, whether it's just the changing of our culture, that we have kids that live with us the first time around, then, oh my gosh, they might be moving back after college for necessity or because they want to be close by. And then, of course, aging relatives move back in. And so it's this thing called next-gen living. It's the next generation of all the different needs. And so we're seeing that reflected in the different kitchen and bath innovations.
Yeah, and they're also having these brand new development projects where they're actually designing homes now that have, you know, a granny-in-law quarters. You know, I saw a development when I was in Hawaii recently where they're actually having this whole development that has that in mind. So it's really kind of infiltrating our culture, I think.
Trying to make it hip and cool and accessible and not like it's this dreaded thing. It's part of life.
It's not like there's she's in the back now. She's eating the celery. It's not like that anymore.
Well, so here we are surrounded by many, many booths. And when you say booth, I mean, that's using the word lightly because they are like virtual mini cities of all the different brands that you would see in your showrooms near you, in the big box stores, in the small mom and pop boutiques. And it's everything from you know, fixtures for your bathroom, to appliances, to those new gee-whiz things on how to be green and save energy.
Right, and highly art-directed. I think some of these booths are just beautiful.
They are.
Aren't they? They really are.
They are. I mean, they have all kind. Well, right in front of us is the Delta booth with water, you know,
Unfortunately, we're having a cavalcade of water, and I keep having to go to the restroom as a result. But that's enough about me.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like we're in Hawaii, actually. We're having a little waterfall experience, but there's a lot that goes into this because the people who come to this show are for the most part, as they say, to the trade. These are people who are designers and architects and contractors who want to be up on these things and then bring them to you and to your home. And so it's our job, Eric's and mine, to help you as a consumer go, wow, okay, yeah, I want to make a note of that and put that on my list so that when I talk to the contractor, I'll say, hey, give me that countertop.
That's right,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, to that point, it's great for a contractor such as myself to come look at some of these trends because then I can advise some of my clients, this is what's happening, this is kind of forward thinking. And speaking of forward thinking, all things kind of recycle, don't they?
They do. They do.
Because now one of our trends is going back and reverting back to that shaker style cabinet door, which I was selling a tremendous amount in the 80s and 90s, and now it's kind of back, as it turns out.
And so explain, what exactly is the shaker look when it comes to using it in your kitchen?
That's a recessed panel door. It's one very simple panel that's recessed about 3/4 of an inch back from a frame around it, and I'm seeing it a lot in all of the high-end kitchen design. It's very simple and elegant. And it's always been a favorite of mine, so I'm glad that it's here to stay.
And it feels, too, that it's popular, perhaps because it kind of gives you that homespun feel. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it have to reference back to that shaker-style furniture. So more of a turn-of-the-century feeling, but it's more modern than you would, almost like a craftsman house you would think of, right?
Yeah.
It's that feeling, right?
It definitely has that homey feel, almost like you want to just stay hunkered down.
That's right.
You know?
And then when you put some kind of a brand new quartz top on that or modern appliances, it really is a wonderful sort of combination of all these different design elements.
And we're also seeing some of the cabinetry that may be darker as well as lighter. I mean, there's a lot of different options. I mean, people are definitely wanting to feel, you know, the maples and some of the darker tones as well as the cherries, right?
That's right. That's right. And the stains, you know, any of these woods can be stained to a darker tone, and you know, we're getting into that where it's more of a rich furniture feel. You know, I love that look as well. It really makes it feel, again, like you say, homey.
Mm-hmm,
you know?
Because the appliances are beautiful, but I think that we want to sometimes feel like it's not all technology.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you don't want it so modern that it takes the elegance out of it and the feeling like the family can sit around and use that kitchen space as a shared space.
Another big trend that we've been seeing over the past couple years, but it's still really popular for 2011, is a place to put the wine.
Yes. Thank goodness everybody's honoring that.
Exactly, because, you know, the wine refrigerator thing, while the wine refrigerators themselves seem to be on the decline, we still want to have a place to store the wine, to have it part of our central heart of the home in the kitchen, whether it's a cabinet or a pantry or some kind of a place for storage like that.
Yeah, that's right. You know, wine is essential at the end of the day. When the kids have driven you crazy, there needs to be a place where you can find a nice bottle of Cabernet.
Solid surfaces. We're going to be talking a lot over the next couple hours here while we're at the KBIS show about not only countertops and surfaces and how to choose them, but what's new and what's beautiful. I mean, the colors in these countertops continue to amaze me. You know,
they really do. And there is a trend back to the quartz, which is really a great surface because it's very hard. It's difficult to stain and scratch, and it really can also be composited material that's recycled, so it's a great alternative as well. And then, you know, some of these other things that I've seen.
Yeah.
Remember Corian?
Of course.
Corian's now back with these amazing veining swirls that kind of give
more
you
depth
and more dimension. So it's a great surface as well. I've really enjoyed looking at some of that stuff.
When we were at the Pasadena Showcase House this past Saturday, we were talking with one of the designers who worked on the interior kitchen of a home that dates back to the 20s, and she used soapstone.
Oh, I
and
love
soapstone is very popular, you know. And in fact, the funny line is it scratches beautifully.
That's right.
Because it creates that kind of look, and I think that's what we're wanting in our solid surfaces as well.
Yeah.
And you know, in terms of color overall, I mean, people are wanting, I think, a lot of earthy, rich, depth colors. Last year, the year before, we were seeing some wild and wacky, like apple green.
Right.
You know, and I think that's kind of taken a back seat to more of the neutral colors.
Yeah, and then some of I love some of the names of the new color
like nail
palette.
polishes.
Yeah, or spices. You know, people are getting food groups.
Yeah.
So it not only entices you in terms of your design palette, but it makes you hungry.
You know what it is? It's appealing to the guy, because as the woman wants to buy the counter, they're putting, you know, what's the favorite guy food group, and he'll spend the money and write the check.
Honey, I want to get that beef colored cabinet.
So give me more of that sausage flavored color cabinet. And in terms of the refrigerator, we're going to be talking a lot about appliances and how not only are they greener in terms of more efficient, because there's so many incentives, as we're learning here in California with the energy upgrade program.
That's
you know,
right.
to make some changes in your home to get these reimbursements and refunds back, but we still want to make it pretty, and so the whole French door refrigerator has really strengthened its whole look in terms of a must-have among designers and among homeowners. We want it to feel like it's spacious, that we can open it up, and it just feels like it's a piece of furniture.
And two things I'm seeing, where it does kind of honor the element of the cabinet style, it disappears, but I also see where it's the clear glass and you actually see inside the refrigerator.
Oh no, we're going to see inside your refrigerator.
You don't want to see inside mine.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah. But I actually like that. It's kind of it's almost like an art gallery display.
It is, especially when it's kind of a muted glass. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, but you have to be careful what brand of bologna and food that you buy, so that it's beautiful inside that glass.
And we're also going to be talking about the new cooktops, of course. You know, induction cooktops. They haven't overtaken gas and electric completely, but they are really, really moving in, because We want it fast. We want it to taste scrumptious, and we're going to be hearing about how while the gas cooktop, has fallen to electric cooktops a little bit, they've risen by 41%. The induction cooktops are really, really up by 34%. Have you ever cooked with the induction?
I have actually, and it's interesting. As soon as the pot makes contact with the element, it turns on and heats up rapidly. So you wouldn't think that an electric stove would do that. Remember the old ones in the 70s and 80s? They were sort of a joke. It's like an easy bake oven. But these new cooktops are amazing.
Can I get an oven in pink though?
Sure. Yeah, I want you to get one. I was hoping you'd
I'm
ask.
all about that girly stuff.
Right.
All right, well, you're listening to a very special broadcast of Home Wizards. We are coming to you from the best kitchen and bath show known as KBIS in Las Vegas, baby, here with my friend Eric Stromer. And we have lots more to talk about over the next 2 hours, including countertops and cabinetry, and just the list goes on, what's new and trendy for your kitchen and bath. Don't go away. Home Wizards, I'm Cindy Dole with Eric Stromer, and we're back after this.